Hi guys, welcome to this lecture. In this lecture, we are gonna start applying the jQuery functionality to this slider here. In the previous lecture, we have created the HTML and we have put the CSS, these buttons and all the things. And now what we are going to do, we are just going to apply the functionality. So the first image will come, and then the second, then the third, and then the fourth. And here is the file. Here you see that these are the file, and here you see that we have give the ID 1 2 3 4 5. So why we have give the number IDs here, I'm going to tell you about its secret. First of all, we will show this image and it have the ID 1, and we don't need to put the different code to show the second image because the second image have the ID 2. So we just need to increment the first image ID, so the second image will be shown, and then the second image is shown. And what we need to do to show the third image, we just need to increment the 2 to the 3, so third image is shown. So in this way we can show the images by increment our ID by add 1 into our ID. So now let's start. First of all here you see that when we load the page, so this image is fade in here. This is the fade in. This is just for little moment, but we have to display none it. First of all, I'm going to not going to display this image, and then I will fade in this image, and here give the display none property to all the images. Here is, so there is no images shown on the screen. When we load the page, jQuery will do this thing, and here there is no image. And now let's start. Here is the functionality. So now here I'm going to create two variables, two global variables. Here is first is slider initialization 1, and here is slider next is equal to 2. This variable will contain the previous image ID, and this slider next will contain the next image ID. These are the IDs. So why we create these variables? Because this variable is used to show the next image, and this variable is used to show the previous image. And now first of all, what we need to do, we have to fade in the first image. So here is, for the first image, here is #1 is the ID of the first image dot fade in, and here we can write its speed in the millisecond, 200 milliseconds. So refresh it. Here is the problem. We have give the display none to the div. We have to give this display none to the image. Here is to the images. We have to give the display none to the images. So that's why it is not happening. So now the first image is going to fade in. Here you can see that this is the fade in. First image is fade in. And now what we need to do, we have to start looping. What is the looping? We have to start showing the 1 2 3 4 5 image, then again 1 2 3 4, again 1 2 3 4 5 images. So for this, here I'm gonna make a function. Here is, I'm gonna make a function to start the slider, in which we will loop through the function, loop through the slider. Here is function name is start slider, and here is this, and this function will be called from this point, start slider, and here is this. So now when this function call this function, so the slider will be start, and here is this. And now let's start, but here I want to change the name of this variable. I'm gonna make it present. This slider int function will recognize the present image, that is the present image. So now it's okay. And this slider next will recognize the next image. This is for to provide the next image. And now let's start. Here, this is the function to start the loop. In this function, what we need to do, we have to continuously change the ID. We have to increase the ID from the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So what we need to do, we have to apply the set interval function. So here is, I'm gonna apply the set interval function. Here is equal, and I have already tell you what is the set interval function, and here is function, and here is, so now this is the set interval function. And in this what we need to do, first of all, here I'm going to show you. Here you see that here you see that this is the fourth image, and now it is going to fade out, then next image will show. So first of all, what we need to do, we have to fade out the image and then we have to show the next image. So here is, we have to select all the images, dot fade out. Here is fade out, and here is, and in fade out I'm giving it 1200 millisecond to fade out. So now here you will see here I'm gonna provide the next image. So how we can provide the next image, here write the hash, and after the hash what we need to do, we have to write the plus to concatenate the number of the ID, that is slider next. So here you see that here the slider next have the value 2. So at first of all, the one image will be shown on the screen. Here you can see that, then the slider next image, that is 2 image, will be shown on the screen. And here I'm gonna fade in. Here is fade in the 200 milliseconds. So now here you see that the second image will be shown, but now what we need to do, we have to show the third image, we have to show the fourth image. So for this, here is slider int variable. I'm gonna provide it the slider next value. So now the slider next value, like here you see that the second image is shown here at this point. Second image is shown, and the second ID is assigned to the slider int, because we need it when we want to show the previous image. When we click on the previous button, so we have to show the previous image. So that's why we have give the slider next image that we are showing, we have give it to the slider int. That ID is given to the slider. And now slider next image need to increase. Here is, I'm gonna increase it in this way, because sometimes people don't understand the plus increment sign. So now this slider next value, that is 2, is increased to the 1. So now this function will again execute, and all the images are fade out, and here the third image will be shown on the screen. And then the third value is assigned to the slider int, and then 3 plus 1, so it's become 4, and then fourth image is shown on the screen. In this way, fifth image is shown on the screen, and let's check it. The loop will continuously run. Here this is not our file, this is our file. Here is first, and it's gone. Yeah, it's gone. Here is why it's gone. Here I'm going to give it the timing also, why it is gone. Here is first, and it is too fast. Here is, you see that first, second, third, so it is too fast. And now here I'm gonna provide 2000 or seconds, and now let's run it. Here is first image, second image, third image, fourth image, fifth image. So now after the fifth image, it is just going 6th ID, then 7th ID, then 8th ID, but there is no image with the 6th, 7th and 8th ID. When we are on the fifth image, so we have to again return to the first image. So how we can do it? We have to provide a check. So here, first of all, we have to provide a check inside here, and for this we have to calculate how many images are here. So for this, here I'm gonna get the size of the images. Here is select all images dot size. It will return the number of images in the page. So here is, I'm gonna count. It is count. I have just give it the name, the number of images, and here I'm gonna provide if the slider next value is greater than count. So what is the count? If 5, because there are 5 images. If the slider next value is greater than 5, so it means it have shown the 5 images, and then 1 is added and it becomes 6. So what we need to do, we again need to make the slider int is equal to 1 and slider next is equal to 1, and so it is again 1 1 when the all 5 images will be shown. The slider next have the 5 value, and then 1 is added and it becomes 6, and there is no image there whose ID is 6. So it is again assign the 1 ID 1 1, and now what is going to happen? All the images are fade out and first image will be shown, and then the 1 value is assigned to the slider int, and then 1 plus 1 it become 2, then the second image will be shown, and then here the 2 value is assigned to the slider int, then 2 plus 1 it's become 3, and third image will be shown. Then in this way 3 value from here assigned to slider int, and 3 plus 1 is 4, and fourth image will be shown, and then in this way fifth image will be shown, and fifth value is assigned to this, and 5 plus 1 6. So when it's the value is become 6 here, so this condition is fulfilled. Slider next is greater than 5, 6 is greater than 5, so it is again 1 1. So images are again shown from the first index. So here is, it's not working. Why it's not working? Here is the forward slash, and there is only one forward slash, so that why it's not working. So here is the first image, then the second, then the third, then the fourth, then this is the fourth, then the fifth. So now it's again first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and again from the 1. So this is all the mechanism. I have explained it, all these things. So if you don't understand, again go through this thing and see the logic. This is depend upon the logic. If you don't understand this, so kindly add the discussion. I will help you as much as I can. And the next thing that is related to the buttons, to show the previous and next image, I'm gonna build this thing from the next video, but here I'm gonna repeat this thing that I have built here. Here you see that at the first, what we do, we have declared 2 variables, slider int and slider next. Both are global because we have to access it at anywhere. Slider int have the value 1, slider next have the value 2, and first of all we have fade in the first image, and then we have start the loop to show all the images. So that is here you see that the start slider function is called, and here and first thing that we do here, first thing is that here uh, we will fade out all the images, and then we have to show the next image, that is the second image, because here we have shown the first image and the second image is shown on the screen, and then we have give the second two value to the slider int, because we will use that value to show the previous images. This thing will be clear in the next video, in the next lecture. And then we have add the +1 into the 2, so 2 is become 3. So then here this loop will run again, this set interval function run again, and the code is repeat, and there it shows the third image. Then 3 values assigned to slider int, 3 plus 1 is equal to 4, then fourth image will be shown. Then 4 value is given to slider int, and 4 plus 1 5, so 5 fifth image will be shown. So in this way this loop will also be executed, and this condition is false, because now when the fifth image will be shown, so here this statement is going to be 5 plus 1 6, and 6 is greater than count, so then this condition will be true. Count is the number of images, total number of images, so then again slider int is 1 and slider next is 1, and slider next will be fade in, so the first image is again fade in, and then the second image will be shown, third, fourth. So if you don't understand, so kindly add the discussion, I will help you as much as I can. Thank you for watching this video. In the next video we are gonna discuss these next and previous buttons. So thank you for watching this video.